Guys, it's Kelly with the Garden Whisperer. If you're unfamiliar with what I do, I design flower beds and garden beds for homeowners where they can either install it themselves or they can hire a landscaper to install it for them according to the design plans. So today's video is part 3 of my top deer resistant flowers for that I have in my 4 different flower beds. So this is the 3rd flower bed video that I'm filming. So I'm just going to get right to it and go through what are the top deer resistant plants. Okay, so we have in the back here tractor seat Ligularia. Now, they did get at it the first year a little bit, but I've been spraying it with my cayenne pepper peppermint oil spray. They've pretty much left it alone. Now, just because they get at it the first year does not mean it won't be highly deer resistant. They will always go and eat, because they're nosy, anything that's newly planted and anything that has young foliage, they're going to try to get at. But as soon as they realize it's something they really don't like to eat, they will, for the most part, pass it by. But as they always say, nothing is 100% deer resistant. And deer resistant does not mean deer proof. So just make sure you all know that. But I'm just telling you what my experience, what I have found really work really well. Carex grass, Bowles Carex grass, most grasses are highly deer resistant. I have another one over there. Bink. And they usually don't touch that. If you ever see nibbling, it's like short-lived, so I won't even worry about it. In the back here, one there, and one over there. Those are white monkshood, Monkshood, highly deer resistant. Along with the blue monkshood that I have over here, highly deer resistant. They are very toxic and poisonous, so you want to make sure if you plant these, you wear gloves. Don't ever, come in contact with it. And if you have small children and pets that will get into stuff, I advise not to plant these because they actually can kill you. I'm just being straight up honest about it, so you have to be really careful. Daffodils are also poisonous too. I don't know if you know that, but they're not, like, monkshood is one of the top poisonous plants. But they do produce really pretty blue flowers in the fall. And the white monkshood obviously produces white flowers. They are a lot smaller. I'm not sure if it's just because of the different colors or there's more shade in this part of the flower bed. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, but anyway, so those they're top deer resistant, probably because they're poisonous. Lenten rose, otherwise known as hellebore, another top deer resistant plant. The stupid moron deer will get to the foliage like in the fall to the, like in the winter, because it is evergreen, but it's not a big deal because you have to cut it back in the spring anyway, and it'll produce all new foliage, and then the blooms will come out. And I actually, as much as I don't like the flowers per se of the Lenten rose, just not a big fan. I do like how they look in the shade garden, so I think I'm going to end up getting some more and maybe put some more out throughout there, but we'll see. Okay, so what's another one? So here, the rainbow drooping Lakothui, for the most part, yes, except for in the fall and winter. The morons will eat it because it's also evergreen. Cover it if you don't want them to chew on it. And they did, even though it's producing, because they got it this last fall, I forgot to cover it, or in the winter. And even though it's producing new foliage, the deer, I noticed, did eat some of the new foliage that was on here. But it's going to be just fine. So I'm not going to worry. I may cover it. I did spray it with my cayenne pepper peppermint oil spray, but I'm not sure. It could just be because of the young foliage, because it's high in nitrogen. So whenever there's young foliage on a plant, they will try it because they're idiots. But I have noticed, because I cut them off from the Astilbe this year, they're getting at plants that they normally don't eat. So that could be why. I don't know. Or they're just trying anything. So I sprayed this, but for the most part, they did not touch this at all last year, except for in the winter. So we'll see. But highly deer resistant, not 100%. But nothing is 100% deer resistant. So you just have to make sure you understand that. Here's another one that's highly deer resistant. This is Cimicifuga Chocoholic, it's called. And as you can see, it's got like really pretty purpley stems. And it's going to produce these white bottle brush flowers. So they're kind of like pink and then white, or a mixture of both. But anyway, it takes a good year for it to really get going, but And last year it had some foliage on it, but this year it's definitely popping up. So just takes a little time to get established. What else? Let's see. So we have, okay, so we're going to go over here. And this guy, I have yet to see if the Alaskan cedar is deer resistant, but I will check that. We'll see by next year. I'm going to keep it caged up until next year so it can establish its roots or get started on it. Sun King Aralia, otherwise known as Japanese spikenard, highly deer resistant. I've never seen them, well, actually I've seen them maybe chew on like one leaf and then that's it. They really don't touch this. The other one they don't really touch is, this is chocolate white snake root. It's just starting to pop up for the year. And this has little round globe kind of white flowers that bloom in the fall. Good for the pollinators, especially the bees, when food is not so readily available in the fall. What else? Here is the geranium. They did get at it the first year because, like I said, if something's new, they're going to get at it. They're going to try it because they're nosy. People say opportunistic. I say no, nosy scumsucker. But for the first year, they did nibble at it a little bit. And since then, they've left it alone. But I have also been spraying it with my cayenne pepper peppermint oil spray. But I'll tell you, if they really want to eat something, they don't care that much about the spray. They do and they don't because the spray burns their mouths. But they have been leaving alone. The other one, lamium or dead nettle. Look at how pretty that foliage is. Now, you could see it's going to be producing flowers soon. It gets really pretty pink flowers on it. And this one, I literally just chopped a piece off of it from that one last year and planted it here. And look at how massive it is. It just took off. Another highly deer resistant. They do nibble at it a little bit, but for the most part, like in the fall, they will. But for the most part, they leave it alone. And the other thing, like I said, like I'm noticing, once things get established and they get used to the plant and what it is, because they'll try anything, if they really don't like it, they'll leave it alone. So far, so good. Heucheras are not deer resistant, but I'm shocked. They did get at that one. It's so pathetic looking. But they've left the rest of them. I've got them, and I'm going to have to cut back the lamium a little bit and move it because it's crowding into that. But they haven't touched these really. They got the last one over there, and then this one they got at, I don't know if you can see it right there. They got at that one a little bit. So, but really they're not deer resistant. But knock on wood, like I said, they're kind of leaving it alone. So I don't know. It could be my cayenne pepper peppermint oil spray. But like I said, it doesn't always work. So I don't know. We'll see. Did I say daffodils? Daffodils, highly deer resistant. I'm going to be adding more. I've never seen them touch the daffodils. I have a stilbe in here and some more over here. Not deer resistant, so I may just pull all those out and get rid of them. It's a shame, but they say they're deer resistant, but no, they are not. And the Japanese anemone, pulling weeds here as I'm doing this. As you can see, they're all covered because the morons love the Japanese anemone. Another one there. So, I think what I'm going to do, because they keep getting at this season, and I think it's because I moved all of my wireless deer fence sticks to the other flower bed. So I just have to get more of those, and I'll put them throughout here, and that should pretty much deter the morons from coming in here and eating that. Because they do work. It's surprising, but it's funny because when you see the videos online, it shows the deer like zaps itself and then it jumps and takes off. Not the a-holes here. Let me tell you, in Northeast PA, I was watching one day, the one deer was in this flower bed and zapped itself with the thing, like with her nose, and she just stood there for a second, kind of like thinking, like, what do I do? And then she just slowly walked away. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. But that's how psycho they are out here. They're really bad. So anyway, and did I say the monkshood? Yeah, I said the monkshood, right? The monkshood, highly deer resistant. I got all of them, I think. The carex grass. So the brunnera, they got at them last year, but they're leaving them alone this year. Knock on wood. I don't know why. So we'll see. Maybe it was just a matter of, like I said, when something's newly planted, they always go at it because it has to go through the entire herd for all of them to realize, like, hey, that's not so good, because they're stupid. Stupid morons. Here, they got at these. These also have, like, fuzzy foliage like the brunnera does. They did get it these last year. And mainly they would get the middle of the plant, which is where all the nitrogen-rich new young foliage is, which is why they like to eat it. And I noticed those leaves are not really fuzzy for the most part, a little bit, but they're not majorly fuzzy, so that could be why. So I have yet to let these guys out this year, but they're so pretty. This is called Marie Claire Pulmonaria, I believe. So really pretty, and there's another one there. So we'll see if I let them out in a little bit and see what ends up happening with the moron deer. But like I said, I'm shocked. They've left the Brunnera, knock on wood, alone so far. I have been spraying them with my cayenne pepper peppermint oil. As you can see, I've got it here. My homemade spray. And I get as much of it as I can, especially in the middle, so the morons don't get at it. And I do have another one planted here, but it's a baby one, but the lamium, like right here it is, but the lamium has kind of taken it over, so I'm going to have to chop some of the lamium off and plant it in other spots. Because, yeah, it's just getting a little out of control. But the lamium is spreading, as you can see. See all new shoots coming out over here. Even there. Look, right there. They're all over. More here. So, yeah, so I'm just going to have to kind of move it. But I have a feeling it's just going to keep growing back each year. So, maybe I'll just have to move the Brunnera back to over here, because that's where it originally was. But I don't know. So, we'll see. But anyway, so that's it for this flower bed in the back here, guys. And one of these days, I hope that's Rose Sensation False Hydrangea, because it's really slow growing. Starts to step up and grow, and it can grow over the trellises, but I'm not sure if it's going to, because I don't know if it's getting too much shade. But I did limb these trees up this year, so hopefully there won't be as much shade, and maybe that'll help. So we'll see. But anyway, all right, so that's it. Did I go over the Rainbow Drooping Leucothea? I think I did. Mainly highly deer resistant. Evergreen, cover in the winter because the morons will eat it. It's producing new foliage because they got it this last year because I forgot to cover it. And they just got at it a little bit again yesterday. So I sprayed it with my spray. And hopefully they'll leave it alone now. But like I said, they just keep trying. But eventually they'll get it. And they're already starting to get not coming in my flower beds. They don't come here as much. The other thing I stopped doing is feeding them. I used to give them carrots and bananas. No more. Get out, you stupid scumbags. So, yeah. So that's it. So far in all my flower beds, because I've been working on them for like a year to 2 years now. So everything is just slowly growing in. It's going to take some years for everything to really get mature. Like the grasses are supposed to get 3 feet tall and wide, so they're going to take some time, and they're slow growing. So it just takes anywhere from like literally 3 to 7 years for flower beds to really get to their, maximum height and width. So anyway, all right, so that's it for today's video, guys. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you're interested in hiring my design services, you can reach me at www.the-garden-whisperer.com. Till next time, guys, happy gardening. Talk to you soon. Bye.